Hello all. This is my first severe weather briefing, and I thought I'd make one today. So here we go. Today's severe weather briefing will concern the moderate risk area in place over southern Minnesota, Iowa, Nebraska, and southeastern South Dakota. There are some watches in effect, although I'll get to those later. The current tornado probabilities indicate a 2% range over much of the Midwest, a 5% over the slight risk area, and a 10% probability over the moderate risk area with a significant tornado probability inside the 10% risk area. Some larger population centers in line for the significant severe: Omaha, Nebraska; Mason City, Iowa; Fort Dodge, Iowa; Marshalltown, Iowa; and Fremont, Nebraska. Some larger population centers in the 10%: Omaha, Nebraska; Lincoln, Nebraska; Ankeny, Iowa; Mason City, Iowa; and Fort Dodge. Today's probability, while it may look low, can be very high. A 10% tornado probability occurring over all of this is something that you want to consider very greatly. The wind probabilities: 45. There's likely going to be damaging wind within the risk area from 15 all the way into the 45% area. The wind risk for the 45% is consisting of some larger population centers: Cedar Falls, Ankeny, I hope I said that right, Mason City, Fort Dodge, and Marshalltown, all in Iowa. The 30%: Omaha, Madison, Mankato, Des Moines, and Urbandale. Again, some in Nebraska, some. And the hail threat: the significant area extends from some of the 15% risk area into the 30 and includes all of the 45% risk area. Significant severe hail affects 107,715 square miles and a 3,777,467 person area population. Some larger population centers in the significant risk area are Omaha, Lincoln, Kearney, Fremont, and Norfolk. 45%, while less widespread, should I say, does include a very large threat of hail: Omaha, Lincoln, Fremont, Norfolk, and Sioux Falls. Again, there is a... Okay, come on. There is a relative thunderstorm threat over most of the Midwest and over most of the United States, should I say. A slight risk area over some of Lake Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, South Dakota, Nebraska, northern Kansas, northern Missouri, and all of Iowa, along with northern Illinois, if I didn't say that before. And again, the moderate risk includes extreme southern Minnesota, southeastern South Dakota, eastern Nebraska, and northern Iowa. If we look at some of the readings from today, you'll see that there are already a line of storms beginning to build within the moderate risk area. Some of these can be strong. Right now, we are looking at a storm that does have a confirmed hail core. The National Weather Service in Hastings did issue a severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Polk County and east central Nebraska. There's also one with a confirmed hail core down here. It's a bit outside the risk area, about outside the moderate risk area, but it's still there. It's got a very strong hail core of almost 4-inch hail. And this goes until 9 a.m. Central Daylight Time. This is the only bout of storms that we have. There's some up here inside the one of the mesoscale discussions. But it doesn't look like that one's very severe, at least not from where I'm standing. Some of the more significant things you'll want to worry about today are tornadoes. If you go to the Storm Prediction Center homepage, they should say somewhere. Okay, I'm going to the regular homepage. Sorry, I like going to the classic. Severe thunderstorms with damaging wind, large hail, and tornadoes will occur over parts of central and eastern South Dakota and Nebraska, eastward across much of Iowa, southern Minnesota, and Wisconsin later today through tonight. Elsewhere, isolated severe thunderstorms may occur over parts of the Ohio Valley, the southeast, the central and southern plains, and parts of the northern Rockies and High Plains. With severe weather outlook. Anytime, no internet. Alright, I think we got what we need. Again, here's the risk area. Here's the moderate risk area. And here is the slight risk area. The general thunderstorm risk, there's rarely a warning in there. Severe thunderstorms are expected over parts of the middle Missouri Valley and upper Midwest later today and tonight. Locations: Iowa, southern Minnesota, eastern Nebraska, and southeast South Dakota. Hazards: widespread damaging winds, a few intense tornadoes, widespread large hail, some baseball size. Summary: severe thunderstorms with damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes will occur over parts of central and eastern South Dakota and Nebraska, eastward across much of Iowa, southern Minnesota, and Wisconsin later today through tonight. Elsewhere, isolated severe thunderstorms may occur over parts of the Ohio Valley, the southeast, the central and southern plains, and parts of the northern Rockies and High Plains. Review your severe weather safety procedures for the possibility of dangerous weather today. Stay tuned to NOAA Weather Radio, weather.gov, or other media for watches and warnings. A watch means the conditions are favorable for severe thunderstorms over the next several hours. If a severe thunderstorm warning is issued for your area, move to a place of safety, ideally in an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. So, check that off the list. And go into some of this. There is currently one severe thunderstorm watch issued for parts of Iowa, Nebraska, and South Dakota. There are severe thunderstorm warnings issued for much of the watch area, although it looks like these are just severe thunderstorm warnings at this point. Although with today's, let's just say, setup, that it looks like they could turn into tornado warnings within the next few hours. Again, there's a significant risk of tornadoes over the 10% hatched area. This is the greatest threat for tornadoes over the moderate risk area. And over here, the convective available potential energy measures the energy that storms will have available to them when they develop. Now, currently, there's not much. There's a 2,500 JPK or joule per kilogram value over southern Nebraska and western Kansas. That's as far down as my map will go without changing it. Elsewhere, along where the line is, there is a 500 to 1,500 joule per kilogram value for this place. If we go into the models, later on today, it is likely that Nebraska will have a 3,500 joule per kilogram rating, which means that severe thunderstorms are imminent. There's also a 3,500 value over extreme southwestern Iowa, extreme southeastern Nebraska, and extreme northwestern Missouri. There's a 4,500% range, or not percent, joule per kilogram range over a very small part of north central Kansas. Some cities here. It is likely that this will intensify into a very large severe weather event. Go to the 4K. This one, I think this might. Anytime now, internet. Okay, I'll just leave that for now. Again, now we're going back into GR2 analyst. This is some of the these are some of the stronger storms on this. Vertically integrated liquid. Wow. Okay, so VILs are at 70 kilograms per meter squared, and this is probably a little bit more. 127 kilograms per meter squared. Which means that there is the likelihood for extremely high hail values, or large hail. Possibility of severe hail at 100% over the white diamond area, which is the 3.5 to 3.6 inch range. Maximum expected hail size over this area, about 66 inches, which is what they're experiencing now. And over here, a 1.82 inch at the maximum value. Base velocities on this are are good for severe thunderstorm warnings. Let me back up a few frames, set the storm motion vector, and okay, we should get an accurate SRM now. Well, it doesn't look very high. The hail core is still extremely high. The winds might be a little bit lower than what you expect, but it's a severe thunderstorm nonetheless. Golf ball sized hail has been reported with this storm, source trained weather spotters. People and animals outdoors will be injured. Expect damage to roof siding, windows, and vehicles. Locations impacted for this warning include Seward, David City, Utica, Bellwood, Beaver Crossing, Rising City, Brainerd, Staplehurst, Ulysses, Gunner, Cordova, Garrison, Surprise, Tamara, and Blue River State Recreation Area. This includes the following highways: Highway 92 in Nebraska between mile markers 409 and 425, and between mile markers 409 and 423. Interstate 80 in Nebraska between mile markers 366 and 379. For protection, move to an interior room on the lowest level of a building. That's just one of the many severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect right now. And that sorry, the thing got paused. That concludes today's severe weather briefing. This is my first, so it was probably a little bit sporadic. I apologize for that. And I hope to see you guys taking your safety precautions if you're in the risk areas. And yeah.